Hi, my name is Leela. I am a certified public accountant and college professor from Nashville, Tennessee. And when I was 20 years old, I stumbled on a little book that some of you might be familiar with called Fasting Can Save Your Life by Dr. Herbert Shelton. And after reading that book and several others on fasting, I started to embrace the notion that the body can heal itself. And I, realized that you really didn't have to do anything when your body was sick, that after a while, all you really needed to do was just do nothing. So when I was 27, a few years later, and I was bleeding profusely every cycle, and so profusely that I had to be hospitalized and transfused, and my doctor told me that I needed to have a hysterectomy. I knew immediately that I wasn't going to do that. So I instead went to a fasting clinic and fasted for 24 days on water, and my fibroid tumors totally disappeared, and I rushed back home to share that with my doctor because I knew he'd be so interested in this information. So I rushed home back to Chicago at the time, and I go to my doctor's office and I tell him I fasted 24 days and examine me and I don't have any fibroids. Well, he blasphemed me. He just ripped me up one side and on the other, and he said that was the stupidest thing he'd ever heard of, that the only thing I'd accomplish doing something like that was killing myself, and that indeed I did not have fibroids, but that's because there must have been some huge mix-up, some huge misdiagnosis. So for the next 20 years or so, I was totally and completely immersed in the pleasure trap. And I had been eating the standard American diet, and I developed all the standard American diseases. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, arthritis, and obesity, to name a few. And I knew I was in deep trouble. So I had been going to my doctors religiously and taking all my medications, and I've probably taken every medication known to man for every disease. And nothing abated or healed my diseases. As a matter of fact, one of my doctors thought that I was not taking enough medication. I was going to a new cardiologist, and he was poring over my chart in his office, and he said, "Leela, here's the problem." And I'm thinking, wow, he's discovered something big. He says, "You're only taking 2 medications." He says, "Do you know that most people with hypertension are taking at least 5 medications? We need to find you 3 more." And we're going to start with this. And he gave me a drug called Bistolic, and I started taking Bistolic that day. And that was about 3 weeks before I called Dr. Goldhammer at True North. And I came in there June 7th, and I did a 30-day water fast. And today, when I entered, upon arrival at True North, my blood pressure was 199 over 100 with 3 medications. And this morning it was 128 over 78 with no medications.
All right.
And my glucose was 143. My average glucose was 143 when I arrived at True North. And this morning was 94 with no medication. It was 143 with medication, 94 with no medication. So I've had significant experience. I lost 48 pounds on that fast. And, you know, True North has been a lifesaver for me. Before I came here, before I came to True North, I was terrified every day that I woke up. Every morning I woke up, I was surprised that I woke up. I honestly thought I would die in my sleep. I had risk factors for cancer, for heart failure, for stroke, and I just knew I was going to have it. I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I knew I was going to have one. And my prayer every morning would be, God, please just let me die when I have it. I honestly just prayed to die. I didn't want to be paralyzed or have a stroke and be incapacitated. I just wanted to die. That was my prayer every morning. And so I just need to thank Dr. Goldhammer and True North and just tell you that